Hi guys, I'm Nikita. I'm in the guide class in the Kuwait Pathfinder Club, and I'll be teaching or talking to you guys today about the honor named Antelopes, which falls in the nature section. So, ever heard of the term antelopes, or have you ever seen one? Because I have in the Kuwait Zoo itself. If we go in the month of January and February when it's cold, they do bring antelopes there, and I think I have seen this specific antelope in the Kuwait Zoo. So, let me take you through this class and make you understand the different types of antelopes there are in this world and what they actually are, how they behave, and what they are in the environment. So, what are antelopes? Ever heard of them? Mr. Wikipedia says that the term antelope is used to refer to many species of even-toed ruminants that are there in various regions of Africa and Eurasia. Antelopes comprise within a taxon within the family of Bode encompassing to old world ruminants that are not included in the antelopes category, which are like caprines, deers, or giraffes. Antelopes are a group of herbivorous African Asian animals. So this is the first requirements, and we have about 10 to 12 requirements in this honor. So let's get to it. The first requirement asks us to understand or give the general characteristics of the antelopes. Antelopes, like I said, are herbivorous animals. They are found in Africa and Asia. They're distinguished by a pair of hollow horns on their heads. Many, many are more closely related to cows or goats than to each other. There are many different species of antelopes ranging in size from the royal antelope. The tiny royal antelope is one of the most smallest antelopes there are, and to the giant eland, the biggest of them all. They typically have a light, elegant figure and are slender and have graceful limbs, small cloven hoofs, and a short tail. Antelopes have powerful hindquarters, and when they're startled, scared, or afraid, they start to run with a peculiar bounding stride that makes them look as though they are bouncing over the terrain like a giant rabbit. Giant rabbit. Suppose you can say they look like a giant rabbit also, but they're not. Some species of the antelopes can reach speeds of 50 miles or 80 kilometers per hour, making them among the fastest animals there are in the land. So let's summarize these into about 5 points. So the first point, a group of herbivores. So what are the antelopes? They're a group of herbivores, African or Asian animals. They're distinguished by a pair of hollow horns on top of their head. They range in different sizes and they can be categorized through it. Third point, they typically have a light, elegant figure and are slender and have graceful limbs. They have small cloven hoofs and a very short tail. They have powerful hindquarters. So the second requirement asks us to identify these three. There are three types of antelopes, like I was about to say. So we have to categorize them into small, medium, and large antelopes. I'll be explaining each of their features in the coming slides, where question number 3 is to explain the 15 slides. 15 antelopes, sorry. Okay. Small antelopes. These two are the very smallest antelopes, and they're this is the kill springer and the dik-dik. Sounds funny, right? Medium antelope, Impala and the springbok. Springbok is one of the most majestic creatures. And there are large antelopes. You can see how large they are in the pictures. They're the wild beast and the giant elands. So let's just go over them. Small antelopes, medium antelopes, and large antelopes. Requirement number 3, being able to identify at least 15 different types of antelopes. Now, I'm going to show you 15 different types of antelopes with their pictures and a brief explanation or a few points on each of them. Let's get into it. The addax. The addax, also known as the white antelope, and the screw-horn antelope is an antelope native to the Sahara Desert. So where are they found? The Sahara Desert. The only member of the genus Addax, it was described scientifically in the year 1816 by Henry de Blalvin. So the next one is the bongo. A bongo is a herbivore's most nocturnal forest ungulate. So they are nocturnal animals. The bongos are the nocturnal animals. They have a they are categorized by a striking reddish brown coat, a black and white markings, or a white yellow stripes, and long, slightly spiraled horns. They are only troglodyte, in which both sexes have horns. Troglodyte means both sexes. So both female and male have horns, small, slightly spiraled horns. They are categorized by their reddish brown coat and white yellow stripes and longly spiraled horns. The bontoc. The bontoc is categorized by their long, slim limbs, which are white in color, and their horns, which have stripes. The bontoc bok. The dik-dik. The dik-dik is the name for any 4 species of small antelopes in a genus of Madqua that live in the bushlands of the eastern and southern Africa. So where are they found? Eastern and southern Africa. Dik-diks stand about 30 to 40 centimeters at the shoulder and 50 to 70 centimeters long, and they weigh up to 3 to 6 kilograms. So I think we can lift them up and can live up to 10 years. So that's very sad, right? They can only live up to 10 years. Now, a duiker. A duiker is a small, medium-sized brown antelope native to the sub-Saharan desert. So they're also found in the Saharan desert. This is the second one found in the Saharan desert. Found heavily in the wooded areas. The 22 extant species include 3 sometimes considered to be the subspecies of the other species. So they kind of mix with the other species also. And they form a subfamily called the Cephalopinae. So when they combine, they form another. So in the scientific, there are subfamilies, families, there are these trees, there are charts. Science is sometimes very confusing, but and their names are even more confusing. So this is Cephalopinae. So the Cephalopinae, Cephalopinae. So the common eland or the great giant elands. The common eland, also known as a southern eland or an eland antelope, is a savanna and is found in the savanna and plains of East and Southern Africa. It is a species of the family of Bordave and genus. So this is the great eland, the giant eland, and it is one of the most common in the southern and eastern part of Africa. The gemsbok or the gemsbuck or the southern African oryx is a large antelope in the genus Oryx. It is a native to the arid regions of South Africa, such as the Kalahari Desert. Some authorities formally included Eastern Africa oryx as a subspecies. So the gemsbok is a very famous one, like the eland. It is found in the Southern Africa. The hartebeest, also known as kogani, is an African antelope. It is the only member of the genus Alcipius. 8 subspecies have been described from this antelope, including some other 2. And hartebeest can be categorized as an independent species. The hartebeest is found in Africa again. The impala. The impala is a medium-sized antelope found in the eastern and southern Africa, the sole member of the genus Aepyceros, that is Aepyceros. It was first described to be European or German. It was first described to the European audiences by German zoologist Heinrich Lichtenstein in 1812. 2 subspecies have been recognized, and the common impala and the larger and darker faced impalas. So I think the impala almost seems like a deer, and the female does not have any horns, but the male impalas have horns. The Kilpspringer is a small antelope found in the eastern and southern Africa, the sole member of its genus. The Kilpspringer was first described by German zoologist Eberhard August in Zermatt in 1783. So Kilpspringer was almost the earliest antelope to be found by Erhard August in 1783. The lowland Nyla, or simply Nyla, is a spiral-horned antelope native to southern Africa. Again, southern Africa. It is a species of the family of Boardae and genus Nyla, also considered to be the genus Tragophelus, and was first described in 1849 by George French Agnes. Their body length is 135 to 195 centimeter, and it weighs about 55 to 140 kilograms. Now, Orbi, Oribi, more like the Orbis we play with, but it's not that. The Orbi is a small antelope found in the eastern, southern, and western Africa, the sole member of this genus. It was described by the German zoologist Eberhard August Wilhelm von Zimmermann in 1783. 8 subspecies are identified from the Orbi. The Orbi reaches about nearly 50 to 67 centimeters at the shoulder and weighs about 12 to 22 kilograms. The sable antelope. You can see the sable antelope. They have very particular haunts. The sable antelope is an antelope which inhabits a wooded savanna in the east and southern Africa, from the south of Kenya to the south of Africa, with a separate population in Angola. So where are all are they found? They're found in many places. So it's almost like a common antelope, but they're not that common. So they're found in the wooded savannas in the east, the southern Africas, the south to Kenya, and they have a separate population in Angola. The springbok is a medium-sized antelope found mainly in the southern and southern West Africa. The sole members of the genus Anterens, the bovid, was first described by the German zoologist Eberhard August in 1780. There are about 3 subspecies that are identified from the springbok. Thompson's Gazelle. Thompson's Gazelle is one of the most best-known gazelles. It is named after the explorer Joseph Thompson and is sometimes referred to as Tommy. So have you seen the movie Zootopia? There's a I think Shakira plays the character of a Gazelle there. So almost looks like this one, right? The wild beast, also called as gnu, gnu, is an antelope in the genus of Conastes, native to the eastern and southern Africa. So where it is found, eastern and southern Africa. It belongs to the family of birdidae, which includes antelopes, cattle, goats, sheep, and other even-toed horned ungulates. So that's about 15 antelopes. That's done. So question number 4. What do antelopes eat and how do they digest their food? Antelopes are ruminants. Like other ruminants, such as cattle, sheep, they have well-developed cheeks, teeth, and molar, which grind curd into pulp. They have no upper incisors. In order to tear grass, they tear grass stems, leaves, they lower their incisors, press against the harder upper gum pad while they bite. So let's summarize these into 4 points. Antelopes are ruminants. They have well-developed cheeks and teeth and molar, which grind cud into pulp. They have no upper incisor in order to tear grass stems or leaf. They have lower incisors which press hard against the upper gum and that pad when they bite. So, name the 3 ways in which the antelopes benefits a country in where they live. So, of course, they're very beautiful and they're majestic creatures. They are beautiful antelopes. Antelopes are beautiful to behold. They are graceful and fast. An eland from a standing position can jump over 8 feet high, making them difficult to fence in. Second, they attract tourists. So if they attract tourists, they're increasing the economy of the country also. So such as they attract tourists because antelopes are such beautiful creatures. Tourists flock to countries so that they can see them. They also provide food for large predators, and large predators also attract tourists. Tourism forms the basis of many economies. Now, third point, they provide meat. They provide meat. As they are much more common than carnivores, they can provide protein-rich and lean meat. So they are beautiful, they attract tourists, they provide meat. What more can you ask from an animal? So what are false hooves? False hoof. False hoof. So that is in their lean kind of lean. So which member of the family do not have them? False hooves are the toes on the animal which do not normally touch the ground. These toes are present on the ones which would normally consider on an antelope's ankle. Other animals, such like dogs, also have toes like this, only they're not deep claws rather than false hooves, since dogs don't have hoofs. So, which members of the family don't have them? The dogs. The dogs don't have hoofs. So, I'm very sorry. So the dogs have hoofs? Wait, I'm just confused here. False hoofs are the toes of an animal which do not normally touch the ground. Other animals, such like dogs, so dogs have hoofs. So which antelope in the antelope family does not have hoofs? The sharp Grice book, this one, the Sharpe Grice book, and the Steen book both lack false hoofs. So I understood 1 point while I'm teaching. That's good. Which antelopes are classed as rare South African animals now? Where can they be seen outside the zoo and the museum? The giant sable antelope, This animal was thought to be extinct, but was recently rediscovered. It is found in Angola, which should be considered southern Africa or South Africa. So this golden, that's the next one. The giant sable antelope, which is in South Africa, was thought to be extinct, but they rediscovered it. The second one, the second one is the Rowan antelope. Rowan antelope. Like the test say, this antelope is extremely rare and found in the Kruger National Park. The test say is also another rare South African antelope found in the Kruger National Park in southern Africa. So the question number 8, or requirement number 8, what natural enemies do the antelopes have? Just like human beings, we are scared of our enemies, which God has told us not to be scared of, but as animals, they are herbivorous animals and they're not predators, but they are prey. So, what are their enemies and how do these animals protect their young ones? Big cats, cheetahs, lions, and leopards, the big predators, are antelopes' most formidable natural enemies. Antelopes are fast runners. Although they are not the fastest animals in the world, they are good at quick, precise turns and they can run very fast for extended periods of time. This gives them the advantage over many predators, such as the cheetah, which relies on the sprinting and can be tired out by the antelope's greater stamina. Newborn calves can run with the herd immediately after birth. The antelope's choice to flee is based largely on the type of predator and its distance from the herd. Usually, gazelles will permit lions to come within 200 meters, 650 feet, before fleeing. Gazelles actually allow the lions to come 200 meters near to them. So, like, if I was a gazelle and there was a lion, I would be just standing 200 meters away from the lion. That sounds scary if I have to be eaten. Then they likely recognize that a hunting lion prefers to hide while stalking its prey, meaning a visible lion is unlikely to attack. Cheetahs, who are superb sprinters, pose a more dangerous threat. Gazelles will flee from cheetahs when they're over 800 meters. Cheetahs are very fast. Antelopes communicate with each other using a varied array of sounds. For example, dik-diks whistle when alarmed, warning other animals of danger as well. This characteristic makes dik-dik less favorable prey for hunters. Generally, though, a sight is much more common from the communication of sound among antelopes. An antelope's mood is indicated by its posture and movement. When excited or alarmed, the most medium-sized of antelope bounce up and down on their forelegs, keeping them stretched out straight. This behavior, known as pronking or storting, acts as an alarming display. Some biologists theorize that sorting also needs a message to the predators, showing that individual antelopes are fit and alert and therefore not worth pursuing. Ah, this is going to be an antelope. I'm joking. So now we're coming to different types of antelopes. 9A to 9D. We're going to talk about some antelopes which are the largest. Which is the largest antelope? The eland, the great eland, is the largest antelope. Which is the swiftest runner? Swiftest runner, almost like the fastest runner. Although the topi has a reputation of being the fastest of all antelopes, its speed only is 50 kilometers per hour. The topi is a subspecies of the testbecee that can run up to 50 to 80 kilometers per hour. The wild beast and the Thompson gazelle, on the other hand, can run up to 80 kilometers per hour. Which is a good fighter? So antelopes fight among each other. Why do animals fight among each other? To find a female antelope for as their wife, or like, what are the animals called? I'm not sure. The sable antelope is an aggressive animal and they often fight among themselves. Because they're such good fighters, even lions are weary of attacking them. Royal antelopes are also formidable fighters. So the sable antelope is one of the dangerous antelopes. If you see one, be careful and run. So, which is the chiefly nocturnal animal which does not sleep at night? The duiker, the dik-dik, and the bushbuck are chiefly nocturnal. So they are awake at night. You can see by the look in their eyes, you can notice that the dik-dik, the duiker, and the bushbuck have something in common. If you see the other elands, if you see their eyes are a little bit smaller compared to these chiefly nocturnal antelopes. Their eyes are so wide. That means they have power to see in the night. Explains why they're nocturnal. Okay, let's move on. Among them, which one is a good jumper? The impala and the springbok can jump 10 meters in a single bound. Also, the springbok jumps very high, achieving vertical heights up to 4 meters. Wow. If I could jump that high, it would be amazing. Antelopes are really very amazing. They can jump up to 4 meters. Just imagine. Which are called the African cameos. Which are called the African cameos. The killed springer is sometimes called the African cameos. The African cameos is the killed springer. Which is the national animal of the Union of South Africa? Which is the national animal of the Union of South Africa? The national animal of the Union of South Africa is the springbok. So, the 10th one, the antelope, which I like, and 5 of its characteristics. So, Thompson's Gazelle is what I really love. They're really beautiful and wonderful antelopes. Here are the characteristics. You pathfinders may already have your favorite, or choose some other one favorite, which is not listed here, and that is fine. Please go research on your own and find out more about antelopes. Thompson's Gazelle. Thompson's Gazelle, also known as Tommies, are known as swift animals. They are very fast runners. They are able to run at high speeds for long periods of time. They extend a distinctive behavior of stalking, running slowly, and jumping high before fleeing from their predator. When they are threatened, such as from lions or cheetahs, they live and they run very quickly and to flee away from them. They live and migrate in herds with hundreds and thousands of other Thompson gazelles. Occasionally, a Thompson gazelle and a zebra will even appear to enjoy one another's company with great sociability. So the Thompson gazelle can be friends with the zebra. Isn't that great? So we have come to the end of this class and the Antelopes E Pathfinder Honor. And I hope you guys understood what I'm talking about. In the next Antelopes Part 2, I will discuss the assignments that needs to be submitted to your class or to your instructor. Thank you for listening to me.